why silver is so much more expensive in the UK than it is in America, but he never got back to the subject.
I'm not exactly sure, but I think it's because of you. Well, you guys over there have to pay a VAT tax.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure what's the premium on what is the percentage of VAT right now? What is it?
15% at the moment.
Oh, jeez.
So if your silver is sitting right now at $13 an ounce, add on another 15% to that. No.
Right now, if that is true.
Well, the silver here is 15. Well, in the States it's $11. Here it would be 11 pounds.
Well, right now, a silver eagle in the United States is going to run you $19 a piece. You add the VAT onto that, and you're talking $23 a piece. And depending on their availability and their costs, I would imagine that you probably won't find a silver eagle in England selling for under $30.
And here's something else to consider with this, Julian. It's the same thing that people get admonished for here in this country. When they run up prices, if there is a squeeze on a certain market, they feel fully justified in running up the cost to you, the consumer, because of supply and demand principle, even though that it's artificially created. So I suspect that that's part of the reasoning as well with coin dealers and bullion dealers over there in jolly old Scotland.
But right.
The other thing I wanted to ask about is what you three wise kings would have to say about what Putin said at Davos.
In relation to?
You mean about the currency, the U.S. dollar?
No, about currency and there being no solid, no one single currency dictating everything else.
Yeah, but I think he didn't go into detail, but before he has, and he's looking for a basket of currencies.
Apparently.
I'm sorry, Julian, what did you say?
He did go into detail at Davos.
Oh, I didn't see that.
I didn't either.
And what did he say?
That there shouldn't be a single currency that dictates the currencies of all the world.
Well, sure.
Well, he has said that before, and he's right. He's right. They should use gold. And even if they took 20 currencies and put them together, like the G20, and that became a currency unit, unless it was backed by gold, you're going to have the same thing happen all over again, and it won't take long.
I heard that policies backed by gold is just playing into the banking system.
Well, look, and I think this is a turn of events, and Bob can correct me if I'm wrong. I think over the past 2 months, central banks have been net buyers of gold.
I appreciate your talking.
Cheer up, Julian.
Yeah.
Cheer up, my friend. We're all in this together. It's a worldwide problem.
It's really cold over there right now. It's snowing.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, Julian. The U.S. government, Bob, and correct me if I'm wrong on this one, it's really got only two possibilities with this debt. One is for financing its budget deficit. One would be the second collapse in the stock market, which would drive the surviving investors with what they had left into quote-unquote safe treasury bonds. The other is for the Fed Reserve to monetize the treasury debt. Now, monetizing that debt means that no one will be willing or able to purchase the treasury bonds. The Federal Reserve buys them by creating bank deposits for the treasury account. In other words, the Fed prints money with which it buys its own treasury bonds. Now, once this happens, the U.S. dollar will cease to be a reserve currency. I'm sure that was much of which probably Putin was talking about. In addition, China, Japan, Saudi Arabia, countries that hold enormous quantities of U.S. Treasury debt, in addition to other U.S. dollar assets, will sell, hoping to get out before the others. And when that happens, the U.S. dollar will become worthless, the currency of a banana republic. Now, here's the downside. And where did we see this? Bob, we talked about this. Here's an example. Take a look at Iceland. The U.S. will not be able to pay for its imports. Now, this is going to be a serious problem for a country dependent on imports for its energy, manufactured goods, and advanced technology products. What are they going to get? The notice from the oil suppliers, people in China, hey, we'll be happy to send anything into your country, but, we're not going to give you net 30. We're going to demand payment before we send it.
In gold.
In gold.
And that's where we're headed. And I suspect for the past 3 months, that the Treasury's been printing bonds, notes, bills, and they have been giving them to the Fed. The Fed, in turn, is giving them a credit of cash. And, of course, the Fed creates the money out of thin air. They then take that collateral and either settle it into the market, collateral, actually the payment, is either sold into the market or it's lent out. And all of that is monetizing. And it's going to start hitting in March or April. And by June, the inflation's going to be flying again.
Now, okay, well, let's just continue with the calls because we have a lot of people still holding here, and we apologize. Just hang on. Henry in Connecticut. Hello, Henry. Hi, Henry. Henry. Going once, twice. Henry in Connecticut. Going 3 times. Dave in California. Hello, Dave.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
I want credit for inventing a new word with a nod to Mark, who I think just mispronounced it. I think all of the new layers of government that are created under the Obama administration be called bureaucracies. Bureaucracies? Come on, guys.
I got it.
It's because it wasn't that obvious. Okay, well, anyway. Wow, that one just fell like a lead balloon. Okay.
I'm sorry, I was talking to my producer. I didn't have an opportunity to hear what you said. What did you say?
I said I think that we should start calling all the new layers of government invented by the Obama administration bureaucracies.
That is pretty funny. I'll think about that and probably laugh tonight sometime.
Yeah, it's one of those timed jokes. You laugh when you got the time.
True. Dave, what's on your mind today?
Well, I was going to say I've been listening to Lindsey Williams a little bit, and he was talking about, I believe it's called the Bakken oil find. It's either 500 billion barrels, or anyway, it's supposedly...
Yeah, we talked about it earlier.
Oh, okay, I missed that.
And I reported on it 6 months ago.
Okay, yeah, and I'd actually noticed that. I went to the USGS site earlier, too, but... So if they did actually start pumping on that and started, trying to develop it and stopped getting our oil from overseas, what would the net result be for the economy?
Well, I think it'd be pretty good. John, you had something to say about that before when we talked about it.
Which subject?
Balkan oil field.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what we find here. It doesn't matter that we have the largest deposits on the entire planet in low sulfur bituminous coal. It doesn't matter that we've got all the oil if we could just bring it to the refineries and refine it and bring it to marketplace. None of this matters, okay? Nothing is going to change about this. It didn't change after the phony oil embargo back in '73 where people were lining up. That was a supply problem. Those boats were intentionally kept off of U.S. shore to jack the prices up. Voila, you give birth to a controlling body that sets oil prices, and that's fine. Who cares? They can call it whatever they want and charge whatever they want. The point is that through all this political rhetoric, not only in Barry Sartoro's administration or Bush or Bill Clinton or whomever, it doesn't matter. None of this matters because we are not going to be able to bring to market viable commodities that can be turned into something else for resale inside this country because we're up to our eyeballs in debt, period. I mean, hell, I'm sure we could swing some really good deals with Venezuela right now. He was trying to give the stuff away free at one point. But, of course, we're politically opposed to a socialist. You know, look who's calling the pot black here. You know, I mean, nothing is going to change. Nothing. And they're going to ride this sweaty little pony into the ground. Yeah, how much? Let me ask you a question, Dave. How much money do you have to go out and buy solar panels right now? How much money do you have to flip over and buy a Prius or some kind of high mileage vehicle? How much money do you have to jump on board this great new technology that's going to move us into the 21st century in grand style? All this is BS and illusion.
I guess I don't understand the answer. I was just wondering, you know, does it do anything to our balance of credit or payment, or, you know, I mean, if we're not spending all the money to fight to get